Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hello. I know it's a little later in the day. You've been walking around. You are way late with your stuffed animals and your art prints, but it's very sweet that you came to see my show. Hello, welcome to Frankenstein Trivia, or FrankQUIZstein as we are calling it today. Before we get started with the game, you do have to sit through an advertisement. I'm sorry. Because who are we? Why do we have the authority to run a Frankenstein trivia game? And the answer is we are the Uncanny Productions. We are a group of lunatics. We are Frankenstein enthusiasts. We are aspiring YouTubers. We are goth weirdos. We're also on Ko-fi. We don't get paid for any of this. This is a huge passion project that we just do because we like it. Here's our Ko-fi link if you really enjoyed today and you want to give us a little tip. We would very much appreciate it, and it would really make our day. Also me. So, without any further ado, I am the marvelous Frankenthusiast. This is my assistant Kell, and we are here to play some trivia. Who feels brave enough to play? So we will start with our first competitor, you, good sir, who I've never met before. What would you like to call your team name?
Frankenfurter.
Team number 2.
I guess just Shannon.
Just Shannon. And our lovely competitor number 3.
Mel Brooks.
I'm such a fan. So here we go. This is round 1 of FrankQUIZstein. Are you guys ready?
Woo! Let's do it.
Are you ready?
Yeah!
Yes! There we go. That's the energy I like to see. So here are our lovely categories. So our first category here is How Novel. It's questions about the book, the novel of Frankenstein. Our section 2 over here, Song and Dance. This is about music that is about Frankenstein. It is about musicals that are about Frankenstein. It's a little bit of both. Number 3, On the Silver Screen. This is about movies. Any movie that has to do with Frankenstein. I hope you're ready. There's a lot. Our next category here, The Secret to Life itself. What I have done here is I have given you a list of movies, and you have to tell me what the secret to life is in that movie. There's a lot of weird ones, and if anyone gets this one correct, I will Venmo you $10. And then my personal favorite, Trick or Treat. These questions are either deceptively simple or not at all what you would expect. It's one or the other, and you get to find out. So, Mr. Frankenfurter, it is your pick. You have the whole board before you.
The Secret to Life.
For how much?
400?
400.
500 sounds really hard.
In the Frankenstein Chronicles. Fuck. This is... I know, you're all racing to answer this question, but in the Frankenstein Chronicles, this was a TV show on Netflix starring Sean Bean. In the Frankenstein Chronicles, what is the secret to life? Mel Brooks.
Love.
No. Yes, Frankenfurter.
Lightning.
No.
Damn it.
Yes. Chemical reactions. No, I'm afraid the answer is stem cells. Yeah. Wish you had seen it now, didn't you? It's actually really clever. All right. Okay, well, listen. Shut up, you, the only person who has seen the show.
Syphilis and mercury poisoning.
That was not the secret to life, that was the secret to death. Which isn't a very well-kept secret. So, Mr. Frankenfurter, is still your pick?
300 in the Secret of Life?
Secret to Life for 300. In Monster High Freaky Fusion! What is the secret to life? Mel Brooks.
Friendship.
Love or friendship, yeah. I'll give that to you.
On the silver screen for 300.
On the silver screen for 300. What studio has made the most book-accurate film adaptation of Frankenstein? If If you've seen my show, you would know the answer. Yeah, I know you have.
I knew about the show in advance. I have no excuse.
Yeah, no, you don't. Any guesses?
Just
Shannon? No. Nope. Yes.
Is Kenneth Branagh a movie?
No. The answer is the person in the funky wig.
Hallmark.
It is Hallmark. Hallmark made the most book-accurate Frankenstein adaptation to date. It's amazing. The first episode of the Frankenfiles is on it. Please watch it.
On the silver screen for 100.
On the silver screen for 100. This line from the original Frankenstein film is not only referenced in nearly every Frankenstein film after, but is viewed as one of the most iconic lines in all of cinema. I think Shannon's hand went up first, actually.
It's alive?
It's alive! It is listed as like the top 5 most iconic lines from film history. So, just Shannon, it is now your board. Oh, did I not give you? Oh, shoot. That was for 100. Thank you. If I make a mistake, please correct me. And if any of you can fact check me on something that I've gotten wrong on here, again, I will Venmo you $10. You will have to cite your sources, but I will Venmo. In the original novel, what is the secret to life? Mel Brooks.
Lightning.
Nope.
That was it.
Chemical reactions?
Nope. You gotta guess? The answer is we don't know. Victor specifically, Mothman knew it. Mothman knew it. He specifically doesn't say because he doesn't want anyone to do what he did. What song does the monster sing in the film Young Frankenstein? Mel Brooks.
On the Ritz.
Putting on the Ritz. All right. Yeah, that's why sing is in quotation marks. All right, Mel Brooks, it is your board.
Trick or Treat for 500.
Oh, okay.
See if I regret this.
In the original Frankenstein film, what is the name of the hunchback man who makes the monster, Mel Brooks?
Fritz.
It is Fritz.
Yes.
You were paying attention. All right, Mel Brooks, it is your board.
Secret to Life for 500.
Whoa, big money. In the video game, Frankenstein Through the Eyes of the Monster, what is the secret to life? This is a real video game that exists, starring Tim Curry as Dr. Frankenstein. What? It's bad. It's fun, but it's bad. Mel Brooks.
Button mashing. Video game.
It's a good answer, but no, that is not. You are not playing as Victor Frankenstein. You are playing Through the Eyes of the Monster.
Right.
Yeah. You're wrong. Shannon.
Again, venture, chemical reactions.
No. Kind of close, but no. Come on, Frankenfurter. I mean, this is the one I said if anyone gets right, I will Venmo you $10. You can guess anything.
Bandages.
Bandages. The answer is Energy L or the Life Stone, as Tim Curry says. It's so bad, it's good. Oh god, it was like an old computer game. It's one of those like the
64.
yeah, it's one of those like the backgrounds were clearly like drawn, but then they have like actual people in front of them. Yeah, it's one of those. I don't remember what that term is, but it's so weird, and I love every second of it. All right, I don't even remember whose board it is anymore.
I picked
I think it's
that
Mel
one.
Brooks's board.
All right. Secret to Life for 100.
Secret to Life for 100. In the Monsters, what is the secret to life? Frankenfurter. No. I'm sorry.
Suck at this.
Come on, you guys, it's 100. Shannon. It's electricity.
Man.
Hell yeah, Shannon.
You should have gone with chemical reaction.
All right, Shannon, I believe it is still your board.
Trick or treat for 100.
Trick or treat for 100. In the original Frankenstein film, what is the secret to life? What is it, Shannon?
Lightning.
It is lightning.
Nice.
All right, Shannon, you're bored.
On the silver screen for 200.
On the silver screen for 2? Oh, shit. I mean, I didn't swear. In I, Frankenstein, the monster finds himself in the middle of a secret war between what creatures?
Shannon.
Shannon.
Angels and demons?
Close, but not quite. Come on. I know you saw my video about it.
Oh.
Yes, Frankfurter.
Oh.
Angels and gargoyles?
Nope. Fuck. You were both half right. It is gargoyles and demons.
Sorry, I didn't see you.
No, you're good. I had no idea.
This movie is so bad. All right, Shannon, you're bored.
How novel for 300?
How novel for 300. What does Victor do after finding the monster has escaped his laboratory? Mel Brooks.
Goes home.
I'll give it to you. He does nothing.
He takes a nap.
He takes a nap and then he has a fever for 3 months. He does nothing. You know, he doesn't go looking for it or try to, track anything down or pay any attention. He takes a nap for 3 months and then goes back to school.
I mean, maybe it'll solve itself.
Pretty much.
Trick or treat for 200.
Trick or treat for 200. In the original Frankenstein film, what is the name of the man who makes the monster? Just Shannon.
Henry?
It is Henry. They swapped Victor and Henry's names because there's still a character named Victor, but they didn't like it for a protagonist.
So is his name Henry Frankenstein?
His name is Henry von Frankenstein. Heinrich von Frankenstein, if you're being real pedantic about it, but all right, just Shannon. Shannon, you are absolutely raking it in here. Oh wait, no, Mel Brooks is ahead of you. I'm sorry.
It's because I cut the five.
No, that's...
Frankenthusiast, you are.
Stop.
Okay.
Song and dance for 400?
Song and dance for 400. What famous rock song is based on a joke from the film Young Frankenstein? Just Shannon.
Walk this way?
Walk This Way by Aerosmith. Yeah. They were recording an album, and then they're like, let's take a break, and they went and saw Young Frankenstein, and apparently the bit where Igor is like, walk this way, and then he does, yeah. They thought that was the funniest shit ever. I mean, I didn't swear. And they wrote a song about it. They wrote Walk This Way. So there you go. So that is for Shannon. All right, Shannon, it's your board.
How novel for 400?
How novel. After destroying the female creature and throwing his science equipment into the ocean, Victor winds up drifting out to sea. What country does he wind up washing ashore in? Frankenfurter. No. Shannon.
Ireland?
Ireland. He's doing science in Scotland. He gets in a boat, throws all of his science equipment into the ocean, and then he falls asleep in the middle of the ocean. And then he wakes up and he washes ashore at Ireland.
Not the first or only time.
Not the first or only time he falls asleep in a boat, by the way. My favorite part is when he washes up in Ireland. He's Swiss, so he's not really familiar with UK politics. And so he washes ashore and everyone's giving him death glares because they think he's a murderer. And he's like, wow, I didn't think British people were so rude. And they're like, we don't know anything about British people, but here in Ireland, we don't like murderers. That is almost verbatim what they say, by the way. Shannon, it's your board.
How novel for 500?
How novel for 500. Victor Frankenstein has 2 siblings. One is William, a young boy who is murdered by the monster. What is the name of the other sibling? Mel Brooks?
Foster siblings. No, I can't. No, Elizabeth. That's my name.
Incorrect. Shannon?
Ernest?
Ernest!
Oh my God.
Look at you, Shannon! Yeah, he has no one ever remembers Ernest. He is in none of the adaptations. He's like the middle child between William and Victor, and the only thing we really know about him is he wants to be a soldier. That's it. He's not even mentioned at the end of the book when everyone else dies. He's technically the only living Frankenstein. All right, Shannon.
Trick or treat for 300.
Trick or treat. What is Victor a doctor of?
Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks.
Biology.
No. Frankenfurter. Nope.
Physics?
Nope. This is a trick question. He's dropped out of university.
Oh my god.
He's not a doctor. So, you know when people get pedantic, like, actually, it's Frankenstein's monster. Frankenstein was the doctor. You can clap right back at them and be like, actually, he's a dropout who never finished college. He starts 2 degrees. He starts like medicine, biology, like kind of, I forget the exact term for it. And then he drops out to make the monster, has a fever for 3 months, and then he goes back to school with Henry and just studies whatever Henry studies. So he has like a half degree in like physical science and a half degree in Oriental languages. Liberal arts at work. All right. The metal pieces in the monster's neck are what? Mel Brooks.
Bolts?
No. Frankenfurter.
Electrode terminals?
Electrodes! They are electrodes!
Alright.
Yeah!
Got a point!
You got, baby, you got 400 points. I'm so proud of you. Yeah, no, they're not bolts, they are electrodes. We don't actually see them used as electrodes until the 3rd film, Son of Frankenstein.
Do they put jumper cables on them?
I mean, kind of.
I would love to see that.
You should watch the new Monsters movie.
Ooh, okay.
All right, Frankenfurter, it is your board. You have 2 500 questions.
Good luck.
Song and dance?
Song and dance for 500. In Frankenstein, a new musical, the show mostly follows the plot of Frankenstein up until the very last song, where Victor, on his deathbed, says what to the monster? Mel Brooks.
You were adopted.
I don't know if you could hear him. He said you were adopted. I want to give you the points because that's funny as hell, but I can't because it's not correct.
I know.
All right, you 2. Come on. It's something an egomaniac would never say. Just Shannon. I'm sorry. He says, I'm sorry. I made a mistake.
Out of the blue.
A thing that he would never do. But I love it. I actually love the, this might be sacrilege to say, I kind of love the ending of the musical better than the book. Don't tell Mary Shelley. So last question on the silver screen for 500. What happened in 1948's Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein that wouldn't happen again until Van Helsing in 2004? Mel Brooks.
The Wolfman, Frankenstein, and Dracula are all in the same movie together.
Yes! You got it! Frankenstein, Dracula, and the Wolfman appeared in the same movie together. Now, dear Frankenthusiast, I hear you say, but what about Monster Squad from 1997? That was not a licensed Universal's picture, and they in fact had to use like you know generic costume names? They had to do that for everyone who was, like Dracula and Frankenstein are obviously public domain, thank you. But like everybody else has like a slightly different name. So the creature from the Black Lagoon is Gillman. Gilman. I'm Robert Gilman. I just crawled out of this lagoon here, and I'm gonna kick your ass. So that's game 1. Yay! All right, so here we have the bride of FrankQUIZstein, because I'm funny. I'm really happy with how this second board came out. So column 1 is M-O-N-S-T-E-R, Monsters, Monsters, here we are. This is all information about Monster High. Oh, Mothman's excited. Column number 2 here is Mother Mary. This is all trivia about Mary Shelley and her life and things that she did. Over here is Creature Feature. I'm gonna give you the description of a monster, and you gotta tell me what movie it's from. Nice. And then over here is Mix and Match. These are just sort of assorted generic questions that I pulled randomly out of a bag. So, or I should say randomly dug out of graves. Thematic, all right. You know what? You've got the lowest points. You get to start this time.
Yay!
Yay! Everybody give Frankenfurter a round of applause. You're doing great, sweetie. All right, you get first pick.
Creature Feature sounds fun.
Creature Feature for how much?
Oh, 500. I got some catching up to do.
Okay.
All right.
8 feet tall, wide, flat flat head, simple stitching, double set of organs, doesn't talk. Yes.
Frankenstein's monster?
No. Fuck. That's not, first off, that's not the name of a movie. These are different monsters from different Frankenstein films. So, did I not make that clear? I'm sorry. Creature feature is the description of a different Frankenstein monster from a different film. I'm gonna give you the description of the monster. You've got to tell me what specific film it's from.
You made it clear.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, honey.
Amazing.
Always in my corner.
So, what Frankenstein film is this guy from? Yes, dear?
The original?
No. Yes, Mel Brooks.
Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Nope. Shannon, you got a guess?
Son of Frankenstein?
Nope. This is Victor Frankenstein from 2015, starring Daniel Radcliffe and James McAvoy. It is the best. I love that movie beyond compare. Like it's if you ever wanted like a gay college roommate buddy comedy, but also there's unethical science, please watch this film. I will go on a little minor rant about this just because I love this movie so much. The really fun thing about Victor Frankenstein is that it takes the nonsense of the original trilogy of films and it makes it make sense. So there's like a sequence where they're building the monster, but they're also like slamming whiskey at the same time. And Victor, they're like describing like what they want, and Victor's like flat head, and Igor's like,
why?
Why? Because I like it, that's why.
nobody got that one. So Frankenfurter is still your board.
Okay, creature feature is really hard. Let's try mix and match.
You picked the hardest question on creature feature.
I know, but...
All right.
All right, Mel Brooks.
Creature feature, 200.
Creature feature for 200. Bald, crazy stitches everywhere, including around the eye, bottom lip, nasty, speaks in full elaborate prose. Mel Brooks.
I Frankenstein.
No!
Nope.
I don't have to press any buttons because you got it wrong. Just Shannon.
Mary Shelley's Frankenstein?
Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. He's a nasty, nasty boy. Yeah, that's the one with Robert De Niro and Kenneth Branagh. So Shannon, now it's your board.
Mother Mary for 100?
Mother Mary for 100. Mary Shelley was how old when she wrote Frankenstein? Just Shannon.
18?
She was 18. Can you imagine, like, the things that I wrote at 18 was like Witcher fan fiction? Like, I can't even imagine.
Mother Mary for 200.
Mother Mary for 200. What genre is Mary credited for inventing? Shannon.
Science fiction?
Science fiction. Double feature, I hear you over there. Don't worry, there's questions on that too.
Mother Mary for 400?
Mother Mary for 400. In the same ghost story competition that Mary wrote Frankenstein, the story by Lord Byron went on to inspire what classic Gothic story? Brooks, is that a hand? Yes?
Might as well just go for it.
Do it.
Try the obvious. Dracula?
It was Dracula. He told a story about a vampire, and Dr. Polidori, their heroin hookup, also Byron's personal physician. He wrote it down, and a couple years later, a certain Irishman picked it up and was like, hey, you know what would be cool? Mel Brooks, it is now your board.
Something I'm unqualified for entirely. MONSTER for 500.
Monsters, monsters, here we are. Frankenstein doesn't appear in the Monster High films or show. He is only ever described by Frankie in the books, who says their dad looks like what famous celebrity? Mel Brooks.
Boris Karloff.
Incorrect. That would have been good though, right? That's some arsenic and old lace joke right there, which is a joke that like maybe 3 of you got. Anyways, no. What famous male celebrity does Frankie say her dad looks like? Their dad looks like. Shannon? No? That would also be good. But I do like the actual answer very much. You wanna wage a guess? Gross, no. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I was so close.
I just love that mental image so much. He's also, the only other things that are said about him is He looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he likes to wear tracksuits.
Now I'm imagining her.
Feature for 300.
Creature feature for 300. 8 feet tall, long dark hair, yellow eyes, thin but muscular, speaks in elaborate sentences. Mel Brooks.
I, Frankenstein?
No. Just Shannon. No. Frankenfurter. This one, you can get this. I believe in you. I should say, they're not all films.
That does not help at all.
I believe in you. You're not playing. Put your hand down.
Scooby-Doo.
Nope. It's the original novel.
Wow.
Come on.
Yeah.
I said they're not all films. I'm not all movies. I'm sorry. You're trying your best, and I'm really proud of you.
Saying that.
Okay.
Creature feature for 400.
Creature feature for 400. Blonde, elaborate stitches, trench coat, fingerless gloves, speaks in normal sentences. Mel Brooks.
I, Frank.
I, Frankenstein. This man loves his fingerless gloves so much he wears them when he washes his hands. It's weird.
Mix and match 300.
Mix and match for 300. In Bride of Frankenstein, what bird did Elsa Lanchester say she based her performance of the bride on? Yes, Shannon.
Swan.
A swan. She liked how they were pretty and mean. Which like move.
Accurate. Let's go with MONSTER for 100.
For 100. Frankenstein is canonically how old in their introductions? Frankenfurter?
15.
Nope.
16.
Close?
You want to live,
Come
you
on.
can do it.
You do it.
17.
Nope. Person with your hand raised. No, that's Draculaura.
Oh shoot.
Yeah. I see it though. Frankenstein is 16 days old. She has a whole bit where she's like, and I'm 16 days old. Like it's a little cute, but also it's a little dumb. Which is a pretty good summary of Monster High. All right, Mel Brooks, it's your board.
Mix and match for 400.
Mix and match for 400. In the Rocky Horror Picture Show, a prosthetic was used to cover up what on the monster / Rocky's
Just
body?
Shannon.
Just Shannon.
His belly button.
His belly button. They were like, hey, this guy was made in a tank, so he wouldn't have an umbilical cord. So they made a prosthetic like plug to go in his. Can you imagine having that job of saying, hey, sir, please lie down on this table. I need to make a plug for your belly button. All right, Shannon, it's your board.
Mother Mary for 500.
Mother Mary for 500. When Percy Shelley died, Mary wrapped what part of him in a copy of his last poem and carried it with her for the rest of her life? It's really Gothic. Mel Brooks, is that a hand?
Yeah, why not?
Go ahead.
I'm going to say his head.
Nope.
Most Gothic.
Just Shannon?
His heart.
His calcified heart. Percy Shelley drowned. He was out on a boat with his bestie and they both died. And then they burned his body, but his heart calcified and wouldn't burn. And so they gave it to Mary, and she wrapped it in a copy of his last poem, Adonis, and carried it with her for the rest of her life. It's so,
That is hard.
it's hardcore Gothic, and I love it so much. All right, all that's left are the Monster High questions.
No.
Oh no. Okay. In Great Scarier Reef, all of the ghouls get mermaid tails except for Frankenstein. What tail does she get? I love you people in the audience who very clearly know this answer. I'm looking at these idiots. All right, Shannon?
Shark tail?
No. It's a fish.
Eel.
An electric eel. She gets an electric eel tail. Unfortunately, this design is considered by a lot of fans to be the worst Frankie design ever. I kind of like it, if I'm being honest. But what do I know? All right, Mel Brooks.
Let's go for 300.
In Monster High Freaky Fusion, we meet Victor Frankenstein, but for most of the movie, he goes by what nickname given by his classmates? This is a man who makes robots that don't work. It's Frankenstein. I believe in you. I believe in all three of you. Shannon? That's a good one, and I do like it. But no, the idea of this nickname was so we didn't know it was Victor Frankenstein until like the last minute.
Rusty.
Close. Frankenfurter.
Tinker.
Nope. That is all of you. It is Sparky. They call him Sparky, which I think is adorable. So nobody got that one. All right, M-O-N-S-T-E-R. Here we go. As of the latest iteration of Monster High, FrankQUIZstein is canonically what? This isn't about what she's made of, or this isn't about what Frankie is made of. This is about Frankie as a person.
Actually, I think.
Oh, Frankenfurter.
Yep.
Older than 16 days.
No, they actually went back and was like, Frankie is 16 days old again.
Oh.
Yes, Mel Brooks. Non-binary. Frankie canonically uses they, them pronouns now, which is both awesome for like representation, but also really funny because they are technically made up of multiple different people. So technically, I just watched the first episode of the animated series last night, and like they have like a whole moment where they're like, here's all of the people whose like brain pieces I have all of their powers. And it's both like, oh, that's cute, and also, that's a little dark. But, so that is the last question. I can give out the prizes because you guys did so wonderful. In this lovely bag that I have. So spooky. Have these little squishy Frankies. Here you go. You get one.
You get a squishy Frankie, and you get a squishy Frankie.
Let's see. Because it's, yeah, Mel Brooks and you, my dear. And you, Shannon. This is a prize that we got, and I said I want one for myself, actually. So, here we go. I'll let you take it out of the bag.
Oh my.
Deck.
It is a Frankenstein Build-A-Bear. They make Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein, and they are so cute and so soft and absolutely lovely.
And check out the electrodes in his neck.
Yeah, there you go. So there you go. Thank you, Shannon. You are our official FrankQUIZstein champion. Everyone, a round of applause for Shannon. Thank you for coming. Please check out the Frankenfiles on YouTube. We are the Uncanny Productions. We've had so much fun being here today. You guys are wonderful. Yeah, thank you for playing. Now get out of here.